Chapter 1: The Fire Within. Why you must focus on you until you win. Why do you think life will pause and wait for you? It won't. The world keeps spinning, opportunities come and go, and time slips through your fingers like sand. But here's the truth: you don't need life to stop for you to catch up. You need to ignite a fire within yourself, a burning obsession to focus on you until you win. Why? Because no one else will hand you success on a silver platter. No one will carve out your path or fight your battles. The world owes you nothing, but you owe yourself everything. Stay in it. Keep pushing. Keep grinding. This is your story, and this chapter is about awakening the relentless drive to make it yours. Let's start with the core of it all: your why. Why must you be successful? Is it to break free from the chains of mediocrity? To prove to yourself, or maybe to those who doubted you, that you're capable of greatness? Or is it to create a life where you're not just surviving, but thriving, living on your terms? Whatever your reason, it's personal and it's powerful. That why is your fuel, your North Star, the thing that gets you out of bed when the world feels heavy and the odds seem stacked against you. Without it, you're just drifting. With it, you're unstoppable. Focusing on you means prioritizing your growth, your discipline, and your vision. It's not selfish, it's survival. The world is loud, chaotic, and full of distractions. Social media, opinions, expectations, and even well-meaning loved ones can pull you in 1,000 directions. But if you don't put yourself first, you'll end up living someone else's dream, or worse, no dream at all. Success doesn't come from chasing fleeting pleasures or seeking validation. It comes from locking in on your goals with laser-like precision and refusing to let anything or anyone derail you. Think about the greats, those who've left their mark on history. They weren't born with superpowers or handed opportunities. They were ordinary people who made extraordinary decisions. They chose to focus on themselves, not in an arrogant way, but in a disciplined, purposeful way. They said no to distractions, no to excuses, and no to settling. They trained their minds to see obstacles as opportunities, failures as lessons, and setbacks as setups for comebacks. That's the mindset you need to adopt. You're not just running a race, you're building a legacy. Now let's talk about what focusing on you really means. It's not about locking yourself in a room and ignoring the world. It's about owning your time, your energy, and your choices. It's about waking up every day and asking, what can I do today to get one step closer to my goal? It's about cutting out the noise, whether it's toxic relationships, mindless scrolling, or self-doubt, and replacing it with action. It's about investing in yourself, your skills, your knowledge, your health, your mindset. Because when you're at your best, you're not just winning for yourself, you're setting an example for others. The road to success is lonely sometimes. You'll lose friends who don't understand your hustle. You'll miss out on parties, lazy days, and instant gratification. But here's the thing: every sacrifice you make now is an investment in your future. Every late night, every early morning, every moment you choose discipline over comfort is a brick in the foundation of your empire. The world will tempt you to quit, to take the easy path, to just relax. But relaxing doesn't build dreams. Hustling does. Grinding does. Staying focused does. Let's get real for a second. You've probably failed before. Maybe you've started projects and abandoned them. Maybe you've set goals and fallen short. That's not a reason to give up. It's a reason to double down. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of it. Every time you fall, you learn something new about yourself. You learn what doesn't work, what you need to improve, and how strong you really are. The only way you truly lose is if you stop trying. So don't. Keep showing up. Keep refining your craft. Keep focusing on you. The beauty of this journey is that it's yours. No one can take it from you. No one can claim your victories or your lessons. Every step you take is a testament to your resilience, your courage, and your refusal to settle. The world will try to tell you who you should be, what you should want, and how you should live. But you don't have to listen. You get to decide. You get to write the script. And the only way to win is to stay in it, to keep your eyes on the prize, and to focus on you until you cross that finish line. So, why must you be successful? Because you deserve it. Because you're capable of it. Because the world needs your unique gifts, your passion, your story. Don't let fear, doubt, or distractions steal that from you. Focus on you, your growth, your goals, your grind. Stay in it. The victory is coming, and when it does, it'll be worth every moment of the struggle. Chapter 2: The Power of Singular Focus, Eliminating Distractions to Win. You've ignited the fire within, and now it's time to protect it. The world is a battlefield of distractions, each one vying for your attention, energy, and time. Every notification, every doubt, every temptation is a thief trying to steal your dreams. To win, you must master the art of singular focus, a relentless, unapologetic commitment to keeping your eyes on the prize. This chapter is about building an impenetrable fortress around your goals, shutting out the noise, and channeling every ounce of your being into becoming the best version of yourself. Because when you focus on you, nothing can stop you. Let's start with a hard truth. You're probably wasting more time than you think. Scroll through your phone for a moment, and an hour disappears. Say yes to every invitation, and your schedule becomes a graveyard for your ambitions. Let negative thoughts spiral, and your confidence erodes. Distractions aren't just external, they're internal too. The doubts in your head, the fears of failure, the temptation to compare yourself to others, these are all enemies of progress. Singular focus means declaring war on anything that pulls you away from your purpose. Why is focus so hard? Because the world is designed to scatter your attention. Social media algorithms are built to keep you scrolling. Advertisements prey on your insecurities. Even well-meaning friends and family can unknowingly pull you off course with their expectations or advice. And then there's you, your own worst enemy sometimes. Procrastination, overthinking, perfectionism, they're all traps that keep you stuck. But here's the good news. You have the power to take control. You can choose what deserves your attention and what doesn't. Let's break down how to build that singular focus. First, you need clarity. You can't focus if you don't know what you're aiming for. What's your goal? Not a vague idea like, I want to be successful, but something specific, measurable, and deeply personal. Maybe it's launching a business, mastering a skill, or achieving financial freedom. Whatever it is, write it down. Make it real. Visualize it every single day. That clarity becomes your compass, guiding every decision you make. When you know where you're going, it's easier to say no to anything that doesn't align. Next, audit your life. Be ruthless. Look at how you spend your time, who you spend it with, and what you're feeding your mind. Are you surrounding yourself with people who inspire and challenge you, or are you stuck in circles that drain your energy? Are you consuming content that educates and motivates you, or are you drowning in mindless entertainment? Cut out what doesn't serve your goal. This isn't about being cold or cutting people off for no reason. It's about protecting your dreams. If someone or something isn't pushing you toward your vision, it's pulling you away. Time is your most precious asset. You can't buy more of it, and you can't get it back once it's gone. So treat it like gold. Create a schedule that reflects your priorities. Block out time for deep work, those uninterrupted hours where you dive into your craft, study, or build. Turn off notifications. Put your phone in another room. Create boundaries with people in your life. If you're serious about winning, you can't afford to let your time be hijacked by distractions. Every minute you reclaim is a minute invested in your future. Let's talk about the internal distractions because they're just as dangerous. Self-doubt, fear of failure, and imposter syndrome can paralyze you. They whisper lies like, "You're not good enough. What if you fail?" Or "Who do you think you are?" Here's how you fight back. Acknowledge those thoughts, but don't let them control you. Write them down if you have to, then counter them with truth. You're not perfect, but you're learning. You might fail, but you'll grow. You're not an imposter. You're a work in progress, and every step you take proves you belong. Train your mind to focus on solutions, not problems. Another key to singular focus is saying no. This is hard, especially if you're a people pleaser. But every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with your goals, you're saying no to your dreams. Learn to decline invitations, opportunities, and even relationships that don't serve your purpose. It's not about being selfish, it's about being strategic. You only have so much energy, and you need to reserve it for what matters most. The people who truly care about you will respect your boundaries. The ones who don't, they're not your tribe. Let's look at the greats again. Think about athletes like Serena Williams or entrepreneurs like Elon Musk. Their success didn't come from dabbling in 100 things or chasing every shiny opportunity. It came from obsessive focus. Serena didn't just practice tennis, she lived it, breathed it, studied it, and sacrificed for it. Elon didn't just dream of space travel, he poured every ounce of his energy into making SpaceX a reality, even when the world called him crazy. They didn't let distractions derail them, and neither should you. But focus isn't just about cutting things out. It's about building habits that keep you locked in. Create routines that set you up for success. Start your day with intention. Maybe it's meditation, journaling, or reviewing your goals. Surround yourself with reminders of your why, vision boards, quotes, or even a simple sticky note on your mirror. Train your body and mind to thrive under pressure. Exercise, eat well, and prioritize sleep. A healthy body fuels a focused mind. And don't underestimate the power of small wins. Every task you complete, no matter how small, builds momentum. One last thing. Focus doesn't mean you never rest. Burnout is real, and pushing yourself to the breaking point isn't sustainable. But rest isn't the same as distraction. Rest is intentional, taking a walk, reading a book, or spending time with loved ones to recharge. Distraction is mindless, numbing, and leaves you feeling empty. Learn the difference. Schedule rest like you schedule work, and protect it just as fiercely. The power of singular focus is transformative. It's the difference between a life of regret and a life of triumph. When you lock in on your goals, eliminate distractions, and pour your heart into your work, you become unstoppable. The world will keep trying to pull you away, but you have the strength to stay the course. Focus on you, your vision, your growth, your hustle. The win is waiting, and it's yours to claim. Chapter 3, The Discipline of Consistency, Building the Foundation for Victory. Focus is your weapon, but consistency is the engine that drives you to the finish line. You can have the clearest vision, the fiercest determination, and the most airtight plan. But without consistency, it's all just noise. Success isn't built on sporadic bursts of effort or flashes of inspiration. It's forged in the quiet, relentless grind of showing up day after day, even when you don't feel like it. This chapter is about mastering the discipline of consistency, turning your dreams into habits, and building a foundation so solid that nothing can shake it. Because when you focus on you and stay consistent, victory isn't just possible, it's inevitable. Let's start with a reality check. Motivation is fleeting. You might wake up one day feeling like you can conquer the world, but the next day you're tired, distracted, or just not in the mood. That's normal. The problem is when you let those feelings dictate your actions. The greats, whether it's an Olympic athlete, a best-selling author, or a groundbreaking entrepreneur, don't rely on motivation. They rely on discipline. They show up when it's easy and when it's hard, when they're inspired and when they're not, when the sun is shining and when the storm is raging. That's the secret sauce. Doing the work, no matter what. Consistency isn't glamorous. It's not about grand gestures or viral moments. It's about the small, unsexy choices you make every day. It's choosing to write 500 words instead of binge watching a show. It's hitting the gym even when it's raining. It's studying for an hour instead of scrolling through social media. These choices don't feel monumental in the moment, but over time, they compound. Every action you take is a brick in the wall of your success. Miss a day and the wall stays incomplete. Skip a week and it starts to crumble. But show up consistently and you're building something unbreakable. Why is consistency so powerful? Because it creates momentum. Think of a train starting to move. It takes effort to get it going, but once it's rolling, it's nearly unstoppable. Your habits are like that train. At first, it's hard to stick to a routine. Your brain resists change and your body craves comfort. But the more you show up, the easier it gets. Those daily actions become second nature, wired into your identity. You're no longer someone who tries to write, exercise, or learn. You're a writer, an athlete, a student. Consistency doesn't just build your skills, it builds you. Let's talk about how to make consistency stick, because it's not enough to just want it. You need a system. Start by breaking your big goals into small, actionable steps. If you want to write a book, don't focus on the 80,000-word finish line. Focus on writing 200 words a day. If you want to get fit, don't obsess over a six-pack. Commit to 20 minutes of movement daily. Small steps are sustainable, and sustainability is the key to consistency. When you set the bar too high, you burn out. When you make it manageable, you build confidence and momentum. Next, anchor your habits to your day. This is called habit stacking, tying a new habit to an existing one. For example, if you always brush your teeth in the morning, use that as a cue to do 5 minutes of journaling right after. If you have coffee every afternoon, pair it with reviewing your goals. By linking your new habits to routines you already do, you create triggers that make consistency easier. Over time, these actions become as automatic as brushing your teeth. Environment matters too. Your surroundings can either support your consistency or sabotage it. If you want to eat healthier, stock your kitchen with nutritious food and get rid of the junk. If you want to focus on work, create a dedicated space free of distractions. No phone, no clutter, just you and your task. Your environment should make it easier to do the right thing and harder to do the wrong thing. Set yourself up for success because willpower alone isn't enough. Now, let's address the elephant in the room: setbacks. You will miss a day. You will fall off track. Life will throw curveballs, sickness, emergencies, or just plain exhaustion. That's not failure, it's human. The key is to never miss twice. One skipped workout doesn't ruin your fitness, but a week of skipped workouts can derail you. One bad meal doesn't destroy your diet, but a month of bad meals will. When you slip, don't beat yourself up. Acknowledge it, learn from it, and get back to it the next day. Consistency isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. Accountability is another secret weapon. Tell someone about your goals, a friend, a mentor, or even a community online. Better yet, find an accountability partner who's chasing their own dreams. Check in with each other, share progress, and call each other out when you're slacking. Sometimes, knowing someone's watching is the push you need to keep going. You can also track your progress yourself. Use a journal, an app, or a simple checklist. Seeing your streak grow is a powerful motivator. Every checkmark is proof you're showing up. Let's not forget the mental game. Consistency requires a mindset shift. You have to stop seeing your work as optional. It's not if I have time or if I feel like it. It's non-negotiable, like eating or sleeping. Treat your goals with the same urgency you'd give a job or a family obligation. Reframe challenges as opportunities to prove your commitment. When you're tired, remind yourself that this is when most people quit, and you're not most people. When you're tempted to skip a day, ask yourself, will I regret this tomorrow? The answer is almost always yes. The beauty of consistency is that it transforms you over time. Small actions, repeated daily, create exponential results. A single push-up won't make you strong, but 100 push-ups a day for a year will. A single page won't make a book, but 1 page a day for a year gives you a manuscript. Consistency turns dreams into reality, one step at a time. And the best part? You don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep going. Think about the people you admire. Their success wasn't an accident. It was the result of years, sometimes decades, of consistent effort. They showed up when no one was watching. They worked through doubt, fear, and failure. They didn't let temporary setbacks or fleeting emotions derail them. That's the discipline you need to cultivate. That's the foundation you're building. Every day you show up, you're laying another brick. Every choice you make to prioritize your goals over distractions strengthens your resolve. Consistency is your superpower. It's the difference between those who dream and those who achieve. It's the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Focus on you, your habits, your discipline, your commitment. The world will try to pull you away, but you're stronger than that. Keep showing up, keep building, keep grinding. The victory is coming, and it belongs to those who stay the course. Chapter 4: Embracing the Grind, Finding Joy in the Struggle. The path to victory is not a sprint, it's a marathon through a minefield. It's gritty, messy, and sometimes downright exhausting. But here's the secret that separates winners from dreamers. The grind is where the magic happens. Embracing the grind means falling in love with the process, finding purpose in the struggle, and discovering joy in the relentless pursuit of your goals. This chapter is about redefining what hard work means to you, turning pain into power, and building a mindset that thrives in the trenches. Because when you focus on you and learn to love the grind, every step forward feels like a victory. Let's get one thing straight. The grind isn't glamorous. It's not the highlight reel you see on social media or the polished success stories in magazines. It's the late nights when your eyes burn from staring at a screen. It's the early mornings when your body begs for more sleep. It's the moments when you question if it's all worth it, when doubt creeps in, and when the world seems to be screaming at you to give up. But those moments, they're where you grow. They're where you prove to yourself that you're tougher than the toughest challenges. Why do so many people shy away from the grind? Because it's uncomfortable. Humans are wired to seek comfort, to avoid pain, to take the path of least resistance. But comfort is the enemy of progress. If you want to win, you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. You have to train yourself to see the struggle as a sign you're on the right path. Every drop of sweat, every moment of frustration, every time you push past your limits is a badge of honor. It's proof you're not settling for ordinary. You're chasing extraordinary. So, how do you embrace the grind? First, you reframe it. Stop seeing hard work as a burden and start seeing it as a privilege. You get to chase your dreams. You get to build something meaningful. You get to become the person you've always wanted to be. Not everyone has that opportunity, and not everyone has the courage to seize it. When you shift your perspective, the grind stops feeling like punishment and starts feeling like purpose. It's not just work, it's your mission. Next, find joy in the small wins. The grind can feel endless, especially when your goal is far off. But every day, you're making progress, even if it's not obvious. Celebrate the fact that you showed up. Celebrate the page you wrote, the workout you finished, the skill you practiced. These micro victories are the fuel that keeps you going. Keep a journal of your progress, no matter how small. Look back on it when you're feeling stuck. You'll be amazed at how far you've come, even when it feels like you're standing still. Another key is to romanticize the process. Make the grind something you look forward to. Create rituals that make it special. Maybe it's brewing a perfect cup of coffee before you start your work. Maybe it's blasting your favorite playlist while you hit the gym. Maybe it's lighting a candle or setting up a clean, inspiring workspace. Find ways to make the hard work feel like a sacred act, something you do because you love it, not because you have to. When you infuse the grind with meaning, it becomes less about the destination and more about the journey. Let's talk about resilience, because the grind will test you. There will be days when everything goes wrong, your plan falls apart, your energy tanks, or life throws a curveball. That's not a sign to quit. It's a sign to adapt. Resilience isn't about never falling. It's about getting back up every single time. It's about learning to pivot when things don't go as planned, to find new solutions, to keep moving forward no matter what. The grind teaches you that you're stronger than you think, more capable than you realize, and more determined than you ever imagined. One of the biggest mindset shifts is learning to love the process more than the outcome. Outcomes are unpredictable. You can't control whether your book becomes a bestseller, whether your business takes off, or whether you win that competition. But you can control your effort. You can control how much heart you put into your work. When you fall in love with the process, the learning, the growth, the hustle, the outcome becomes secondary. And ironically, that's when you're most likely to succeed because you're no longer paralyzed by fear of failure. The grind also builds character. Every time you push through a tough day, you're forging discipline, patience, and grit. You're proving to yourself that you can handle whatever life throws at you. Think about the stories of those who've achieved greatness. They didn't just talk about their dreams. They lived them, one grueling step at a time. They faced rejection, failure, and setbacks, but they kept going. That's what the grind does. It shapes you into someone who doesn't just dream of winning, but deserves to win. Let's not sugarcoat it, though. The grind can be lonely. You might feel like no one understands what you're going through. You might see others living easier lives, chasing instant gratification while you're out here putting in the work. That's okay. You're not doing this for them. You're doing it for you. And when you cross that finish line, when you achieve what you set out to do, the satisfaction will be yours alone. No one can take that away from you. The grind is your story, and every chapter makes you stronger. To stay in the grind, you need to take care of yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup. Prioritize your health, physical, mental, and emotional. Eat foods that fuel your body. Move daily, even if it's just a walk to clear your mind. Take time to rest, not as an escape, but as a way to recharge. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, who remind you why you started. And don't be afraid to seek help when you need it, whether it's a coach, a mentor, or a therapist. The grind is tough, but you're tougher, and you don't have to do it alone. Finally, remember that the grind is temporary, but the rewards are lasting. Every sacrifice you make now is an investment in your future. Every moment you choose to keep going, even when it's hard, is a step toward the life you want. The grind isn't just about achieving a goal, it's about becoming the person who can achieve that goal. It's about transforming yourself into someone who's disciplined, resilient, and unbreakable. That's the real victory. Embrace the grind, love the struggle, find joy in the hustle. Because when you focus on you and commit to the process, you're not just chasing a dream, you're building a legacy. The world will see your success, but you'll know the truth. It was the grind that made you unstoppable. Chapter 5: Owning Your Time, the Currency of Success. Time is the one resource you can never get back. Money can be earned, opportunities can be created, but time, once it's gone forever. To win, you must master the art of owning your time, treating it as the most valuable currency in your arsenal. Every second you spend is an investment, either in your dreams or in someone else's agenda. This chapter is about taking control of your hours, days, and weeks and using them to build the life you want. Because when you focus on you and harness the power of time, you're not just moving toward victory, you're accelerating toward it. Let's start with a wake-up call. Most people don't own their time. They rent it out. They let others dictate their schedules, from bosses to social obligations to endless notifications. They say yes to things that don't matter and no to their own priorities. And then they wonder why they're stuck, why their dreams stay dreams, why they never have enough time. The truth is, you have the same 24 hours as everyone else. The difference between those who win and those who don't is how they use those hours. You don't need more time. You need to be intentional with the time you have. Owning your time starts with awareness. Where is your time going? For 1 week, track everything you do. Write down how many hours you spend working, sleeping, scrolling, watching TV, socializing, everything. Be honest. You might be shocked to see how much time slips away on things that don't move you closer to your goals. That hour on social media? That's an hour you could have spent learning a skill. That weekend binge watching a show? That's time you could have used to start a side hustle. This isn't about guilt, it's about clarity. Once you see where your time goes, you can take it back. Now let's talk strategy. The first step to owning your time is setting boundaries. Boundaries are your shield against the world's demands. Learn to say no, politely but firmly, to anything that doesn't align with your priorities. That might mean declining invitations, limiting time with people who drain you, or even setting expectations with family and friends. It's not about being selfish. It's about protecting your most valuable asset. If you don't guard your time, others will happily take it from you. Next, prioritize like your life depends on it, because it does. Not all tasks are created equal. Most people waste their energy on low-value activities that feel productive but don't move the needle. Use the 80-20 rule. 20% of your actions produce 80% of your results. Identify the high-impact tasks, the ones that directly contribute to your goals, and make them non-negotiable. If you're writing a book, your 20% is writing and editing, not tweaking your website's font. If you're building a business, your 20% is creating your product or connecting with customers, not perfecting your logo. Focus on what matters most and let the rest wait. Time blocking is your secret weapon. This means assigning specific chunks of time to specific tasks and treating those blocks like sacred appointments. For example, block out 7 to 9 a.m. for deep work on your passion project, 10 to 11 a.m. for emails, and 3 to 4 p.m. for exercise. During those blocks, eliminate distractions, turn off notifications, close unnecessary tabs, and tell the world to wait. Time blocking forces you to be intentional and helps you avoid the trap of multitasking, which studies show reduces productivity and increases stress. One task, one focus, one win at a time. Let's talk about the morning, because how you start your day sets the tone for everything else. The most successful people don't stumble into their mornings, they design them. Create a morning routine that primes you for success. Maybe it's 10 minutes of meditation to clear your mind, 20 minutes of exercise to energize your body, and 15 minutes of reading to inspire your soul. Or maybe it's journaling your goals, reviewing your to-do list, and visualizing your day. Whatever it is, make it consistent and intentional. Your morning is your launch pad. Use it to soar. But owning your time isn't just about work. It's about balance. If you grind 24/7 without rest, you'll burn out. Schedule time for joy, connection, and recovery. Spend an evening with loved ones. Take a walk in nature. Read a book for pleasure, not just self-improvement. These moments recharge you, making you more effective when you're working. The key is to be deliberate. Don't let rest turn into mindless scrolling or procrastination. Plan your downtime like you plan your work, and it'll fuel your hustle instead of derailing it. Let's address the thieves of time: distractions and procrastination. Distractions are external: phone notifications, social media, endless emails. Procrastination is internal: fear, perfectionism, or just not wanting to do the hard thing. To fight distractions, create a distraction-free zone. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb. Use apps to block social media during work hours and communicate your boundaries to others. To fight procrastination, break tasks into tiny steps. Don't think about writing a whole chapter. Just write one sentence. Don't think about running 5 miles. Just lace up your shoes. Starting is the hardest part. Once you're in motion, momentum takes over. Another key is to plan ahead. Every night, spend 5 minutes mapping out your next day. Write down your top 3 priorities, the things that, if accomplished, will make the day a win. This simple habit keeps you focused and prevents you from waking up aimless. Weekly planning is even better. On Sunday, look at your goals and map out your week. What needs to get done? When will you do it? Planning isn't about rigidity, it's about freedom. When you know what's coming, you can move through your days with purpose. Let's not ignore the mental game. Owning your time requires discipline, and discipline requires a strong mindset. When you're tempted to waste time, remind yourself why you're doing this. Visualize the life you're working toward, the freedom, the impact, the legacy. Keep that image front and center. And when you slip, because you will, don't dwell on it. Refocus, reset, and get back to work. Time management isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Think about the people who've changed the world. They didn't have more hours in the day. They just used them better. They said no to distractions, prioritized their mission, and treated time like the precious resource it is. That's your challenge now. Every second you reclaim is a step toward your victory. Every choice to focus on what matters is a vote for your future self. Own your time, and you'll own your destiny. Focus on you, your priorities, your schedule, your hustle. The world will try to pull you in 1,000 directions, but you have the power to choose. Treat time like the currency it is and spend it wisely. Your victory is waiting, and every moment you claim brings you closer to it. Chapter 6: Mastering Your Mindset. The foundation of unstoppable success. Your mind is the battlefield where victory is won or lost. No matter how clear your goals, how disciplined your habits, or how strategic your time management, if your mindset isn't aligned with success, you'll always fall short. Mastering your mindset means rewiring your thoughts, silencing self-doubt, and building an unshakable belief in your ability to win. This chapter is about taking control of the voice in your head, turning obstacles into opportunities, and cultivating a mental fortress that nothing, not failure, not fear, not the world's noise, can penetrate. Because when you focus on you and master your mindset, you become unstoppable. Let's start with a fundamental truth. Your thoughts shape your reality. If you believe you're destined to fail, you'll find ways to prove yourself right. If you believe you're capable of greatness, you'll find ways to make it happen. This isn't some fluffy self-help mantra. It's backed by science. Your brain has a filter called the reticular activating system that prioritizes what aligns with your beliefs. Think you're a failure? You'll notice every setback. Think you're a winner? You'll spot every opportunity. Your mindset isn't just a feeling. It's a lens that colors everything you see and do. So how do you build a winning mindset? First, you need to audit your thoughts. Pay attention to the stories you tell yourself. Are you saying, "I'm not good enough, I'll never make it," or "this is too hard," those are lies and they're holding you back. Write them down when they pop up and challenge them. Replace "I'm not good enough" with "I'm learning and improving every day." Replace "this is too hard" with "this is a challenge and I'm built for challenges." It feels awkward at first, but repetition rewires your brain. Over time, positive self-talk becomes your default. Next, embrace failure as a teacher, not a punishment. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it. Every successful person you admire has failed, often spectacularly. What sets them apart is how they respond. They don't see failure as a dead end. They see it as feedback. When you fail, ask yourself, what did I learn? How can I improve? What's the next step? This mindset shift turns setbacks into stepping stones. It takes the sting out of failure and keeps you moving forward. Remember, the only real failure is giving up. Fear is another mental hurdle you'll face. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being enough. They're all normal, but they're not your boss. Fear only has power if you let it control you. The antidote? Action. Fear thrives in inaction when you're stuck in your head overthinking every possible outcome. The moment you take a step, any step, it loses its grip. Start small if you have to. Write one sentence, run 1 minute, make one call. Action builds courage, and courage builds confidence. Over time, you'll realize fear is just a feeling, not a fact. Let's talk about comparison, because it's a mindset killer. In the age of social media, it's easy to look at someone else's highlight reel and feel like you're falling behind. But comparison is a trap. It steals your focus and distorts your reality. Someone else's success doesn't diminish yours. Their timeline isn't yours. Instead of comparing, use others as inspiration. Study their strategies, learn from their wins, and let their success remind you what's possible. Then get back to your own lane. Your journey is unique, and that's your superpower. Another key to mastering your mindset is visualization. This isn't just daydreaming. It's a deliberate practice used by top performers in every field. Close your eyes and picture yourself achieving your goal. See the details: where you are, what you're doing, how it feels. Visualize the obstacles you'll face and see yourself overcoming them. This primes your brain for success, making it easier to stay focused and resilient. Spend 5 minutes a day visualizing your victory. It's like mental rehearsal for the real thing. Gratitude is another mindset game changer. It's easy to fixate on what you don't have: more money, more time, more opportunities. But that scarcity mindset keeps you stuck. Instead, focus on what you do have. Every morning, write down 3 things you're grateful for: your health, your passion, the chance to chase your dreams. Gratitude shifts your perspective from lack to abundance, from despair to possibility. It doesn't just make you feel good, it makes you act like someone who believes they can win. Surround yourself with the right voices. Your mindset is influenced by the people you spend time with and the content you consume. If you're around negative people who complain, criticize, or doubt your dreams, their mindset will rub off on you. Seek out those who inspire, challenge, and uplift you. Read books by people who've overcome the odds. Listen to podcasts that fuel your fire. Follow creators who share wisdom, not drama. Your mind is a garden. What you plant in it grows. Feed it with positivity, knowledge, and inspiration. Resilience is the backbone of a winning mindset. Life will test you hard. You'll face rejection, setbacks, and moments when you feel like giving up. But resilience isn't about being unbreakable. It's about bouncing back. When things go wrong, give yourself permission to feel the disappointment. But don't stay there. Reflect, regroup, and recommit. Remind yourself why you started. Reconnect with your purpose. Every time you rise after a fall, you're strengthening your mental muscle. Over time, you'll realize nothing can keep you down for long. Finally, believe in your potential. This is non-negotiable. You don't need to know exactly how you'll achieve your goals. You don't need all the answers up front, but you must believe you're capable of figuring it out. That belief is what keeps you going when the path is unclear, when the odds seem impossible, when the world tells you to quit. You are not defined by your past, your circumstances, or your doubters. You are defined by your choices, your actions, and your refusal to give up. Mastering your mindset is a lifelong journey, but every step makes you stronger. It's about choosing courage over fear, growth over comfort, and belief over doubt. When you focus on you, your thoughts, your resilience, your vision. You're building a foundation that nothing can shake. The world will throw challenges your way, but with the right mindset, you'll turn every obstacle into an opportunity. Your victory is waiting, and it starts in your mind. Chapter 7. Building your tribe. Surrounding yourself with champions. No one wins alone. You can have the fiercest focus, the most disciplined habits, and the strongest mindset. But if you're surrounded by the wrong people, your journey will be harder than it needs to be. Your tribe, the people you choose to let into your inner circle, can make or break your success. This chapter is about curating a network of champions, people who inspire you, challenge you, and hold you accountable. It's about recognizing who lifts you up and who drags you down, and having the courage to choose wisely. Because when you focus on you and surround yourself with the right tribe, you're not just chasing victory, you're building a legacy with a team behind you. Let's start with a hard truth. Not everyone in your life wants you to win. Some people, whether out of fear, jealousy, or their own insecurities, will subtly, or not so subtly, discourage you. They'll question your dreams, downplay your progress, or tempt you to stray from your path. These are energy vampires, and they can drain your motivation faster than any obstacle. The first step to building your tribe is identifying these people and setting boundaries. You don't have to cut them out completely, though sometimes that's necessary, but you do need to limit their influence. Your dreams are too important to let anyone sabotage them. So, who belongs in your tribe? Look for people who embody the qualities you aspire to: ambition, resilience, positivity, and integrity. These are the ones who celebrate your wins, no matter how small, and push you to keep going when you're struggling. They're not just cheerleaders, they're challengers. They call you out when you're slacking, ask tough questions, and hold you to a higher standard. They're the ones who see your potential even when you doubt yourself. Finding these people isn't always easy, but they're out there, and they're worth the effort. Let's talk about how to find your tribe. Start by being the kind of person you want to attract. If you want to be surrounded by driven, positive people, embody those qualities yourself. Show up with energy, curiosity, and a willingness to grow. Be someone who lifts others up, who shares knowledge, who celebrates others' successes, like attracts like. When you radiate the qualities of a champion, you'll naturally draw champions to you. It's not about faking it. It's about becoming the kind of person others want to align with. Where do you find these people? Everywhere, if you're intentional. Look for communities aligned with your goals, whether it's a local meetup, an online forum, a mastermind group, or a professional network. Attend events, workshops, or conferences in your field. Join online spaces where people share your passions, whether it's a subreddit, a Discord server, or a niche Facebook group. Don't just lurk. Engage. Share your ideas, ask questions, offer value. Relationships are built through contribution, not just consumption. And don't limit yourself to people in your industry. Sometimes the most inspiring connections come from unexpected places: a mentor from a different field, a friend with a different perspective, or even a stranger who shares your drive. Mentorship is a cornerstone of your tribe. A mentor is someone who's walked the path you're on and can guide you through the pitfalls. They don't have to be famous or wildly successful, just a few steps ahead of you. Seek them out. Reach out with specific, thoughtful questions, not generic requests like, "Can you mentor me?" Show you've done your homework, respect their time, and act on their advice. A mentor's wisdom can save you years of trial and error, but you have to be coachable. Listen, learn, and apply. And don't just take, give back by sharing your progress or helping others in your network. Your tribe isn't just about mentors and peers. It's also about the people you inspire. Leadership isn't just for CEOs or team captains. By pursuing your goals with passion and integrity, you become a beacon for others. Share your journey, not to brag, but to show what's possible. Be the person who lifts others up, who encourages them to chase their dreams, who proves that hard work pays off. When you lead by example, you attract people who want to grow alongside you. Your tribe becomes a cycle of mutual inspiration where everyone pushes each other to be better. Let's address the tough part: letting go of toxic influences. This doesn't always mean dramatic confrontations. Sometimes it's as simple as spending less time with people who don't align with your vision. If someone constantly criticizes your goals, dismisses your efforts, or pulls you into drama, they're not part of your championship team. Distance yourself gracefully. Surround yourself with people who make you feel capable, not small. It's not about burning bridges. It's about building a circle that fuels your fire. Accountability is another gift your tribe can offer. Find an accountability partner, someone who's as committed to their goals as you are to yours. Set clear expectations, weekly check-ins, shared progress reports, or even daily nudges to stay on track. Knowing someone's watching can be the push you need to show up on tough days. But accountability works both ways. Hold them to their goals too. It's a partnership, not a one-way street. Together, you'll create a dynamic where quitting isn't an option. Your tribe also includes the voices you let into your head, the books you read, the podcasts you listen to, the content you consume. These are all part of your mental circle. Choose them wisely. Fill your mind with stories of triumph, lessons from failure, and strategies for success. Follow creators who challenge you to think bigger, work harder, and stay focused. Unfollow accounts that breed negativity, comparison, or distraction. Your tribe isn't just physical, it's intellectual and emotional too. Building your tribe takes time and intention, but it's worth every ounce of effort. You don't need a huge circle, just a few people who truly get it, who see your vision and push you toward it. They're the ones who'll celebrate your victories, pick you up when you fall, and remind you who you are when you forget. With the right tribe, you're not just stronger, you're unstoppable. Focus on you, but don't do it alone. Surround yourself with champions who share your hunger, who challenge your limits, and who believe in your potential. Let go of those who hold you back and invest in those who lift you up. Your tribe is your strength, your support, and your secret weapon. With them by your side, victory isn't just a possibility, it's a certainty. Chapter 8: Adapting to Adversity, Turning Obstacles into Opportunities. The road to victory is never a straight line. It's a winding path filled with unexpected twists, roadblocks, and detours. Adversity isn't just a possibility, it's a guarantee. But here's the truth: obstacles don't stop you, they shape you. How you respond to challenges determines whether you stagnate or soar. This chapter is about mastering the art of adaptation, transforming setbacks into stepping stones, and thriving in the face of adversity. Because when you focus on you and learn to navigate life's storms, you don't just survive. You come out stronger, wiser, and closer to your win. Let's start with a mindset shift. Adversity is not your enemy, it's your teacher. Every challenge you face, whether it's a financial setback, a personal loss, a failed project, or an unexpected curveball, is an opportunity to grow. The most successful people in history didn't avoid hardship, they embraced it. They understood that adversity exposes your weaknesses, tests your resilience, and forces you to innovate. When you stop seeing obstacles as barriers and start seeing them as puzzles to solve, you unlock a superpower: the ability to turn any situation to your advantage. Adapting to adversity starts with acceptance. You can't change what's happened, but you can change how you respond. Denying or resisting reality, wishing things were different, or dwelling on "why me?" only wastes energy. Instead, take a deep breath and face the situation head on. Ask yourself, what's the reality right now? What's in my control? What's the first step I can take? This doesn't mean ignoring your emotions. Feel the frustration, the disappointment, the fear. But don't let those feelings paralyze you. Acknowledge them, then shift your focus to action. Flexibility is the cornerstone of adaptation. Life rarely goes according to plan, so clinging to a rigid playbook is a recipe for frustration. Instead, cultivate a mindset of agility. Be willing to pivot when circumstances change. If one path is blocked, find another. If your strategy isn't working, tweak it. This doesn't mean abandoning your goals. It means finding new ways to reach them. Think of yourself as water. When faced with an obstacle, you don't stop. You flow around it, carve a new path, or wear it down over time. Adaptability is about staying true to your vision while being open to new routes. Let's talk about problem solving, because adversity often demands creative solutions. When faced with a challenge, break it down. What's the root issue? What resources do you have? Who can help? Brainstorm multiple solutions, even the crazy ones. Sometimes the wildest ideas spark the best answers. Then prioritize and act. For example, if you lose your job, don't just panic. List your skills. Update your resume, reach out to your network, and explore freelance or side hustle options. Every problem has a solution if you're willing to look for it. The key is to stay calm, think critically, and move forward. Adversity also builds resilience, but only if you let it. Each time you face a challenge and come out the other side, you're strengthening your mental and emotional muscles. You're proving to yourself that you can handle more than you thought. Keep a record of the obstacles you've overcome. Write them down, no matter how small. When you're in the thick of a new challenge, look back at that list. It's a reminder of your strength, your grit, and your ability to keep going. You've survived every bad day so far, and you'll survive this one too. Another key to adapting is resourcefulness. You don't always need more money, time, or tools. You need to make the most of what you have. Look at what's in your control: your skills, your network, your knowledge. Can you learn a new skill to navigate the challenge? Can you reach out to someone for advice? Can you repurpose what you already have in a new way? Resourcefulness is about thinking outside the box and refusing to let limitations define you. Some of the greatest innovations in history came from people working with less, not more. Let's not ignore the emotional toll of adversity. It's okay to feel overwhelmed sometimes. The key is to manage those emotions so they don't derail you. Practice self-care, whether it's exercise, meditation, journaling, or talking to a trusted friend. These aren't luxuries. They're tools to keep you grounded. Surround yourself with your tribe. Remember Chapter 7? People who remind you of your strength and help you see the bigger picture. And give yourself permission to rest when needed. But don't confuse rest with quitting. Rest recharges you. Quitting stops you. One powerful way to turn adversity into opportunity is to look for the lesson. Every challenge teaches you something about yourself, about your strategy, about the world. Maybe a failed business venture shows you a gap in your skills. Maybe a personal setback reveals who's truly in your corner. Maybe a rejection pushes you to refine your craft. Ask yourself, what is this teaching me? How can I use this to grow? When you approach adversity with curiosity instead of resentment, you transform pain into progress. Let's draw inspiration from those who've turned adversity into triumph. Oprah Winfrey faced poverty, abuse, and discrimination, yet she built a media empire by refusing to let her circumstances define her. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb, treating each failure as a step closer to success. J.K. Rowling was rejected by multiple publishers before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. These people didn't just survive adversity, they used it as fuel. They adapted, pivoted, and persevered. You can too. Finally, remember that adversity is temporary, but the strength you gain from it is permanent. Every challenge you overcome makes you more capable, more confident, and more prepared for the next one. You're not just building toward a goal, you're building yourself. The person you become through adversity is someone who can handle anything. Someone who doesn't just dream of winning, but knows how to make it happen. Focus on you, your resilience, your resourcefulness, your ability to adapt. Obstacles will come, but they don't define your story. You do. Embrace adversity as a chance to grow, to innovate, to prove what you're made of. The victory is waiting, and every challenge you conquer brings you closer to it. Chapter 9. The Power of Self-Investment. Becoming your own greatest asset. You are your most valuable investment. No stock, no real estate, no business venture can match the return you get from pouring time, energy, and resources into yourself. To win, you must commit to becoming the best version of you, sharpening your skills, expanding your knowledge, strengthening your body, and nurturing your spirit. This chapter is about treating yourself like the asset you are, prioritizing your growth, and building a foundation that makes success not just possible, but inevitable. Because when you focus on you and invest in your own potential, you're creating a powerhouse capable of achieving anything. Let's start with a mindset shift. Self-investment isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. The world is constantly evolving, and if you're not growing, you're falling behind. Think of yourself as a business. A business that doesn't innovate, upgrade, or adapt eventually fails. You're no different. Every choice you make to learn, improve, or step out of your comfort zone is a deposit in your personal growth account. Over time, those deposits compound, turning you into someone who doesn't just chase opportunities, but creates them. What does self-investment look like? It's multifaceted, covering every aspect of who you are. Let's break it down. First, invest in your mind. Knowledge is power, and in today's world, it's more accessible than ever. Read books that challenge your thinking, biographies of people who've overcome the odds, manuals on your craft, or works that expand your worldview. Listen to podcasts, take online courses, attend workshops. Don't just consume passively, apply what you learn. If you learn a new skill, practice it. If you read a strategy, test it. Knowledge without action is just trivia. Aim to learn something new every day, even if it's small. Over time, those small lessons build a reservoir of wisdom. Next, invest in your skills. Whatever your goal, writing a book, building a business, mastering a sport, your skills are your tools. Sharpen them relentlessly. If you're a writer, study storytelling, grammar, and audience engagement. If you're an entrepreneur, learn marketing, finance, and leadership. Don't just rely on what you already know. Seek out gaps in your skill set and fill them. Take a course, hire a coach, or find a mentor. Practice deliberately. Focus on improving specific aspects of your craft, not just going through the motions. Mastery comes from consistent, intentional effort. Your body is another critical investment. Your health is the foundation of your hustle. You can't pour from an empty cup, and you can't grind if you're burned out or sick. Prioritize nutrition. Eat foods that fuel your energy, not just your cravings. Move your body daily, whether it's lifting weights, running, yoga, or even a brisk walk. Exercise isn't just about looking good, it's about feeling good, thinking clearly, and building resilience. Sleep is non-negotiable. Aim for 7 to 8 hours a night to recharge your brain and body. Small changes, like drinking more water or cutting back on sugar, can have a massive impact over time. Treat your body like the high-performance machine it is. Don't neglect your emotional and mental health. Self-investment includes nurturing your inner world. Stress, anxiety, and self-doubt can sabotage your progress if left unchecked. Build practices that keep you grounded. Meditation, journaling, or even a few minutes of deep breathing. Therapy or counseling can be a game changer if you're carrying unresolved baggage. Surround yourself with positive influences, your tribe from Chapter 7, who lift your spirits and challenge your limiting beliefs. Your emotional resilience is just as important as your physical stamina. Time is a key component of self-investment. Every hour you spend on yourself is an hour spent building your future. But time is finite, so be strategic. Audit your schedule. Remember Chapter 5? And carve out dedicated time for growth. Maybe it's an hour each morning for reading or skill building. Maybe it's a weekly deep dive into a new subject. Protect that time like it's a meeting with the most important person in the world. Because it is. You're investing in you, and there's no higher priority. Money is another aspect of self-investment, but it doesn't have to break the bank. You don't need to spend thousands on fancy courses or equipment. Start small. Buy a $10 book, sign up for a free online class, or invest in a gym membership you'll actually use. If you have the means, consider higher ticket investments like a coach, a mastermind group, or professional tools that elevate your work. The key is to see these expenses as investments, not costs. A $100 course that teaches you a skill could lead to thousands in income or opportunities. Weigh the return, not just the price tag. Let's talk about risk, because self-investment often feels scary. Learning a new skill might mean starting at zero, looking foolish, or failing publicly. Stepping out of your comfort zone might mean facing rejection or uncertainty. But here's the thing. The biggest risk is not investing in yourself. Staying stagnant, clinging to what's familiar, or waiting for the right time guarantees you'll stay exactly where you are. Growth requires courage. It requires betting on yourself, even when the outcome isn't certain. The good news? Every time you take that leap, you build confidence and prove you're worth the investment. Self-investment also means embracing lifelong learning. The world changes fast. Technology, industries, and opportunities evolve constantly. If you stop learning, you stop growing. Adopt a beginner's mindset, even when you're experienced. Be curious. Ask questions. Seek feedback, even when it stings. The most successful people aren't the ones who know everything. They're the ones who never stop learning. They're humble enough to admit what they don't know and hungry enough to go find out. Look at the greats. People like Warren Buffett spend hours reading every day, even in their 90s. Athletes like Serena Williams train their bodies and minds relentlessly, even after winning championships. Entrepreneurs like Sarah Blakely reinvest their profits into learning, experimenting, and growing. They don't rest on their laurels. They double down on themselves. That's the mindset you need. Always improving, always evolving, always becoming more. The beauty of self-investment is that it compounds. Every skill you learn, every habit you build, every risk you take makes you more capable, more confident, more unstoppable. You're not just working toward a goal, you're becoming someone who can achieve any goal. The world will throw distractions and doubts your way, but when you invest in yourself, you're building a foundation that nothing can shake. Focus on you, your mind, your skills, your health, your growth. Treat yourself like the asset you are and pour everything you've got into becoming better every day. The victory is waiting, and every investment you make in yourself brings you closer to claiming it. Chapter 10. Claiming Your Victory, the Art of Finishing Strong. You've come this far, ignited your fire, honed your focus, built your discipline, embraced the grind, owned your time, mastered your mindset, gathered your tribe, adapted to adversity, and invested in yourself. Now, it's time to cross the finish line. Claiming your victory isn't just about reaching a goal. It's about finishing strong, owning your success, and setting the stage for even greater wins. This final chapter is about sealing your commitment, celebrating your journey, and stepping into the life you've worked so hard to create. Because when you focus on you until you win, you don't just achieve, you become a force of nature. Let's start with what it means to finish strong. It's not enough to stumble across the finish line, exhausted and barely holding on. Finishing strong means ending with purpose, clarity, and pride. It means giving your all until the very last moment, leaving nothing on the table. Whether your goal is launching a business, publishing a book, running a marathon, or transforming your life, the final stretch is where you prove who you are. It's where you show the world and yourself that you're not just a dreamer, but a doer. The first step to claiming your victory is defining what winning means to you. Success isn't one size fits all. For some, it's financial freedom. For others, it's creative fulfillment, personal growth, or making a difference. Get crystal clear on your definition of victory. Write it down in vivid detail. What does it look like? How does it feel? Who's with you when you get there? This clarity keeps you anchored when the final push gets tough. It reminds you why you started and what's waiting on the other side. The final stretch is often the hardest. You're tired, doubts creep in, and the goal can feel tantalizingly close yet frustratingly far. This is where most people quit. Not at the beginning, but when they're inches from the finish line. Don't be that person. Tap into the tools you've built. Your mindset. Chapter 6, your discipline. Chapter 3, your tribe. Chapter 7. Lean on your why, your routines, and your champions. Remind yourself that the pain of pushing through is temporary, but the regret of giving up lasts forever. Momentum is your ally in the final stretch. You've built it through consistency and hard work. Now, protect it. Avoid the trap of slowing down because you're almost there. Instead, double down. If you're writing a book, don't just finish the last chapter. Edit it with care, polish it, make it shine. If you're launching a business, don't just get the product out. Market it with passion, connect with your audience, go the extra mile. Treat the final steps with the same intensity as the first ones. That's how you create something extraordinary, not just good enough. Let's talk about fear, because it often spikes right before a win. Fear of failure, sure, but also fear of success. What if you actually get what you've been chasing? What if it changes your life, your relationships, your identity? These fears are normal, but they're not your boss. Acknowledge them, then push forward. Visualize yourself on the other side of the finish line, confident, proud, fulfilled. Action is still the antidote to fear, just as it was in Chapter 6. Take one step, then another. The closer you get, the smaller the fear becomes. Celebration is a critical part of claiming your victory. When you reach your goal, don't just brush it off or move straight to the next thing. Pause. Reflect. Honor the work you've put in, the obstacles you've overcome, the person you've become. Throw a party. Treat yourself. Share the moment with your tribe. Celebration isn't about ego, it's about gratitude. It's a way to mark the milestone, recharge your energy, and remind yourself that you're capable of greatness. Write down what this victory means to you. Keep it as a reminder for the next journey. But here's the thing: victory isn't the end, it's a beginning. Every win sets the stage for a bigger goal, a new challenge, a higher mountain. Don't rest on your laurels, but don't burn yourself out either. Take what you've learned, your focus, your discipline, your resilience, and apply it to the next chapter. Each victory builds your confidence, sharpens your skills, and expands your vision. You're not just winning a race, you're becoming someone who knows how to win, again and again. Let's address the doubters, both external and internal. There will always be voices saying you can't do it, that your success is a fluke, that you don't deserve it. Ignore them. You've earned your place through sweat, sacrifice, and sheer determination. The internal doubter, your own self-criticism, can be trickier. Silence it by looking at the evidence, the late nights, the early mornings, the obstacles you've overcome. You didn't get here by accident. You got here because you focused on you and you refused to quit. Your victory also has a ripple effect. By chasing your dreams and crossing the finish line, you inspire others. Your tribe, your family, even strangers who hear your story, they see what's possible. You become a beacon, proof that hard work, focus, and resilience pay off. Share your journey, not to boast, but to light the way for others. Mentor someone, share your lessons, give back. Your win isn't just for you, it's a gift to the world. Finally, remember that claiming your victory is about owning your story. You've written this chapter with every choice, every sacrifice, every moment you chose to keep going. Be proud of that. You're not perfect, and you don't have to be. You're human, flawed, resilient, and capable of incredible things. This victory is yours, not because you're lucky or gifted, but because you showed up, did the work, and refused to settle. Focus on you until you win. You've built the foundation. Now step into your victory with confidence. Celebrate it, learn from it, and use it to propel you toward the next one. The world is watching, but more importantly, you're watching yourself. You're proving who you are, what you're capable of, and what you'll achieve next. This is your moment. Claim it.